Hello and welcome to the conversation on the Hope TV network. This is a show where us men are going to talk about things that we usually think about but don't discuss. Politics, relationships, religion, you name it, we're going to talk about it on this show. I'm joined by my co-host, Greg Kirkland.
Yes, sir. Ron, glad to be here again.
Welcome, sir. DeMarcus Smith.
Hey, man, we back again. Yeah, let's get it.
Jeff Fauntleroy.
Hey, man, let's talk about it.
All right, we're going to get into it. But first, let's get to know you a little bit better. If you had a place to go that's on your bucket list for vacation, where would that be? Greg.
Wow. My wife and I are destined at some point in time to go to Santorini, Greece. That's you too?
All right.
Well, we're not going to go together, though. I'll tell you right now. It's just going to be me and her, Doc. But we're going
You're
to
way
Santorini.
better
At
when you're
some-
there.
Mykonos.
Your way.
All right. Fauntleroy.
Man, that's incredible, man. Santorini, Greece, off of the Aegean Sea.
Come on, Doc.
The island of the Aegeans. What a wonderful place, man. Look at some pictures and see how crystal clear
Yeah, it's
that
beautiful.
water is.
It's beautiful.
DeMarcus.
Africa. I want to go to Africa.
You know Wakanda ain't real, right?
I know.
Great minds think alike,
Yes,
man.
sir. Absolutely.
Yeah. Mine would be Holland.
Really?
Yes.
Holland.
Yes, I want to
that's
go to
different.
Holland. Amsterdam. That's where I want to go. That's always
Oh, Amsterdam.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Oh, all right. There we go.
a little different.
Okay.
Understand now. huh?
I understand now. I had to think of where. Well, okay, Amsterdam.
What
I got
about
it.
What about favorite meal, DeMarcus? Favorite meal.
Well, right now I'm dieting, so everything
Is your favorite?
is my favorite.
Don't give us that.
I would say I like to cook. I like to eat. I would say my grandfather's ribs.
Nice.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Wow. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm going to listen. My favorite meal is a Japanese A5 Wagyu ribeye steak cooked in
He's so thorough.
black truffle butter, just a little bit well done. Woo! My God.
All right.
Tiny little onions.
Tiny
Kirkland.
little onions.
Man, I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, man. So listen, I'm a hole in the wall Chinese food. Give me some pork fried rice, chicken
my
wings,
goodness.
and an egg roll, Doc, and
raise
I'm
the
good to
standard.
go, man. Listen, man.
Pepto Bismol as a chaser.
You're not getting that in Santorini.
No, don't worry about it. I'm gonna have it in the airport on the way.
I'm kind of like Jeff Fauntleroy. Give me a good steak and a baked potato, and
Yes,
I'm good.
sir.
And I'm good. I'm good.
Yes, indeed,
All right.
sir.
We ready to get the conversation started?
Let's
I
go,
think
man.
so.
Let's
All
get
right.
it.
We've got a good one this week.
Let's
Oh,
go.
Lord. All right. We know recently the governor of Texas signed into law a measure that would ban abortions as early as 6 weeks into
That's what
pregnancy.
we doing today.
boy.
Okay. And we also know conservatives, the ultimate goal is to overturn Roe v. Wade, which was passed in 1973. Question is, who has the right to tell a woman that she can't abort a baby? Let's talk about it.
Well, you know what? Let me go out on a limb here.
Okay.
First of all, I think that we need to reassess all of this. I don't think that a group of older, middle-aged, or above men should sit in the arena and talk about what is good
Absolutely.
for a woman and what she should do under certain circumstances. Now, I'm not one to say that it's a good thing, but under the circumstances, you don't know. Let's think about this. Here's a young lady who gets pregnant by a rape, and now we mandate her to have this child. And every day of the week, this woman has to wake up with the reminder of the trauma that took place in her life. Or is it the will
Yikes.
of God
Yikes.
that she has this child to stop this cycle that's ingrained in this young man's
Yikes.
DNA?
You're starting trouble.
Now, that's something to think about. But real talk, man, I'm going to say this. I'm not for it, but I think that a woman should have a choice based on the circumstances
Absolutely.
that happen for this.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
Okay, DeMarcus?
Absolutely. I totally agree. I'm from Texas, Dallas, Texas, South Oak Cliff. What up, fam? But I'm disappointed, man, in a lot of the decisions that a lot of these people are making. Like, big shout out to Lee Merritt, who is getting ready to run for the state attorney, and he's really been at the forefront of a lot of these just crazy, chaotic decisions that are being made. I absolutely 100% agree. There's no way a male should have a right to say anything that a woman should be able to choose or not choose. I believe it's totally circumstantial as well. And it just baffles me because the governor is using these conservative, trying to bring even biblical things in to say that this is why I'm doing it, when there's nowhere biblically. You can cherry pick all you want, but there's nowhere biblically stating anything around this matter. Now you can cherry pick. It just makes no sense to be a person, and it's all about power and position at this point. You trying to, like, there's no way you can sit there as a father, as a man, to say, if something happens to my daughter, right, that she doesn't have a say-so in this matter, especially in extreme case like rape or anything like that. And he tried to say that it doesn't go towards that, but no, come on, man, stop playing.
That's the hypocrisy also, you know, and I'm sorry, but we got to talk about what church folk do.
Oh, Lord.
And the hypocrisy that goes on.
Absolutely.
Because we say, thou shalt not kill.
Absolutely.
Well, it also says, do not judge, yes, ye be judged.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
So,
Yes, sir.
You saying, well, that's a sin.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, when you go down to Piccadilly and eat $40 worth of food and 2 gallons of sweet tea,
That's
that's gluttony.
It is,
So
brother.
that's a sin.
Yes, sir.
So, hey, you can't pick and choose what the Bible say.
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
totally agree with that, and I think that my thought on it, my stance on it is this: when you start to get into rights, when you start to get into what they mandate or what they take away your rights to do, that gets really tricky, because if they can take away this right,
Yes, sir.
What's
That's an
next?
open door.
what's next?
What's
bruh?
next?
What's next?
Yeah.
And,
Absolutely.
and then let's look and see who's having the abortions.
My,
Because, see,
my.
the statistics will tell you
Yes, sir.
that I think it's like 48% or 38% of Hispanic women are having the abortions.
Wow.
But when you look at the statistics, that's reported statistics. And we know those who have the abortions, who go to the places that are reported, can't go anyplace else.
Right.
But the rich folk,
Wow.
they go overseas.
Wow.
They go to the private places
Wow. Wow.
that don't
Right.
include reporting.
Absolutely.
So
Great
what are the
point.
real numbers?
Great
Who's
point.
really having the abortions?
Great point.
And what is this fight really about?
Great point.
Could it be that more of one race are having abortions more than the
Wow.
other?
Wow.
And we want that race to grow?
Wow.
Because of the browning of America? I'm just putting it out there.
Wow.
I think
Wow.
it's problematic for me that there's such a push for banning abortion, but some of the same politicians want to cut benefits, social benefits.
Right.
So if a woman has a child that she didn't plan to have,
Then what?
because she can't have it, because a lot of times that's because she's in a situation that she can't really care for the child, no matter what race she is. If you can't care for the child, so if you can't care for the child, but you are forced to bring this child into the world,
But
the
then they
same
don't care.
politicians don't want to assist you
Absolutely.
with
Right.
with the things necessary to give that child a good life, because again, a lot of the children that are aborted, or some of them are victims of rape, or in a lot of cases would not have the best
Right.
of life.
Right.
And again, I'm with you. I don't to say we condone it, no, but again,
Sure.
you have to be. It's very dicey. I agree with you, Greg, when you talk about what right somebody had, or taking away the right to
rights.
somebody, because it's such an individual thing.
And I think, again, with the state of Texas,
Yeah.
it's hypocrisy, because
Come on.
you talking about not doing abortions, but you lead the nation in executions of prisoners.
Wow.
So you want to kill
Yeah.
the older folk, but you want the younger folk to live. But then if the younger folk have disabilities and things that they need, you're not even going to supply them with the needs that they're going to have.
Yeah, you're anti-abortion, but you're not pro-life, because if you were
Wow.
pro-life, then you
would
wouldn't
give
be
all
leading
the
the,
things that the
leading the
child will
nation
need
in
to grow.
executions.
Yeah.
On
Listen.
death row. So yeah,
Man.
Listen,
crazy.
and My thought process is that it's interesting to me that the thing that's most upsetting is that a lot of the people that are voting pro, anti-abortion, will get mad if you tell them to wear a mask.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, sir.
How about that?
You can't
Yes, sir.
tell me to wear a mask.
Yeah.
They have a right.
I have
to-
a right.
I have a right.
I have a right.
That's that cherry pick.
Yeah.
That's
So it's like,
crazy.
That's the
what side are
hypocrisy.
you on?
But
Yeah.
see, even to go further, like you bringing up a great. I need to know who y'all are talking to, or who you're sitting with to make these decisions for other people. What is that conversation behind the scenes, or is that just that man mode thing where, like I said, it's all power? It doesn't there's no way. And he's a father, he's a husband. Like, there's no way that you couldn't think from a circumstantial standpoint that, man, what happens if? And how am I making that call? And it's not just that. You've got voter suppression that's at an all-time high in
Yeah,
Texas.
yeah.
You've got, even with the gun control, they made guns so publicly open in the state. I'm disappointed in the state.
Wow.
And
Oh,
not,
you
not
don't
the
need a
whole
license
state
anymore.
Yeah, I'm just disappointed in the people. Like, if this is the time for the state of Texas to really look at something, look at who voted you in. Now look at the response that you're getting from that person.
Absolutely.
That's in
And
that seat.
I wonder who's looking into the causes of abortion. You know, what are the things that cause that?
Yeah.
How do you get young people or people of any age, but a lot of young people to, safe sex, those practices that that lead to some of these abortions. What are we teaching the young
much are
people?
we putting into
Absolutely.
the
Invest-
prevention of?
If you invest early, some of the
That's great.
you'll
Like
see
that.
those gains later.
What's the
Absolutely.
prevention tactic?
Absolutely,
Because,
absolutely.
It can't be a form of birth control.
Wow.
That's number
Right.
one.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
So again, how much are we putting on the prevention side?
Right.
It's just like I said on the previous episode about the man falling into the water, and we keep saving him. But why is this person falling into the water?
Wow.
Let's find out why folks are doing this.
sure. Right.
Are we putting
Right.
money into
Right.
prevention tactics
Right.
or
Absolutely.
prevention education
Right.
in the schools?
Right.
Wow.
But then we say, well, we don't want them teaching our children about condoms.
Right. And to your point, I will say this. And again, I have sons, and my advice to them was, my desire is for you is to wait until you're married,
Sure.
and meet the person that you love and you're going to spend your life with, and then have sex. That is my desire for them.
Right.
Now, what they choose to do
Absolutely.
may not match up with my desire.
Absolutely.
So I also have a responsibility as a
As a
father,
father.
to tell you the ramifications.
There it is right there.
of,
Absolutely.
There it is.
unprotected sex
There
and
it
those
is.
things.
Absolutely.
Again, and I think, when you go back to the church world, we sometimes we say that we cannot teach our children to go have sex. I'm not teaching my sons to go have sex. I am telling them what the results
what the
Absolutely.
results
can
are.
be.
Absolutely.
If you do this.
Because I think not educating them early is what you get a lot of pregnancies that are not expected or
Absolutely.
wanted, which
Absolutely.
kind of leads to the decisions that some of them make. So
Yeah, absolutely. And I know of a personal story of a young man who was a victim of a rape by a family member, and the mother decided to go ahead and have this child, and they are a very good person in the community. They're a great contributor. As a matter of fact, they're a leader in the community. And so, again, it should be a woman's choice.
Absolutely.
But I go with the prevention piece.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And
Like,
it's-
if you do this, these are the ramifications,
possible
and these
results.
are the expectations of what may
Absolutely.
happen. And I
Absolutely.
think if we dig deeper into that and teach that more, we wouldn't have these crazy laws.
I just got one question.
Okay.
What if they tried to mandate a law for males to get vasectomies?
Don't worry about it.
At that, no, realistically,
Ain't happening.
No, it ain't. So look at the uproar that
Yeah.
will cause.
Well,
Absolutely.
I see your point. I
come
see your
on.
point.
And you can
I
see,
see your point.
This. I mean, this it's one of those things you could talk about
All
forever
day.
because
Yeah.
again, that's a great point, and that may be a
I
future
think
show.
Barbara Lee even
So,
brought that up. I think somebody brought that up.
Wow.
Said, let's have men get vasectomies.
yeah. So
My God.
yeah. So again, great subject. We've got to move on, and we've got to start the debate. Okay.
Here we go.
We ready?
Let's
All
go.
right.
No. Well, okay. Let's do it. Okay.
In a relationship,
Oh, Lord.
Oh God.
Oh boy.
what constitutes cheating? Now, before you answer, let you think about that for a little
Read the
bit.
stat.
We asked our anonymous feedback team, and they gave us a few answers. Secretive behaviors that you know wouldn't be accepted by your partner.
Okay.
If you're hiding your interactions with another person, it's probably cheating.
Yep.
Being romantically or emotionally attached or physically attached to someone outside of your relationship.
Yeah.
Or flirtatious behavior in person or on social media that you know would not be accepted.
Hey,
All right, let's start the debate.
Listen. When I go out with my wife,
Email him.
what we do is we set the rules. All right, where we going? We're going down to this restaurant. Okay, so do I have a 10-degree turn ratio? Do I have a 60-degree?
I need your
ratio?
wife to teach
I
a
need to know what the
conference.
turn
Most
ratio
relationships,
is.
that doesn't
The
work.
responses of Jeffrey Fauntleroy. His and
Email
his
No, man,
own.
I'm gonna go with the emotional attachment and the physical attachment. I mean, once you cross the line into the point where, I saw something on, I think it was Instagram, where this young man was struggling, or the woman was struggling because her husband's side piece died, and he's waking up at 3 in the
Did.
morning,
Yes, sir.
crying,
Yes, sir.
about the loss of his
Yes,
side
sir.
piece, man.
They
I'm
trying
like,
to
come
figure
on,
out.
man.
She's trying to figure out how should I feel about that.
Yeah,
thing?
this guy ain't gonna live long, man. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. I'm just doing the whole committal right now. But nah, man, emotional attachment, physical. Once it goes physical, once it gets emotional, hey man, that's cheating,
But
man.
what does that mean? What does that look like? What's over the border, DeMarcus? What's
So-
over the line?
Being a
Don't
being
stumble,
a,
Doc.
no. Being
email
a
him.
young guy, right?
You gotta start that
Like,
over.
realistically, before I was married, hey. But I believe with growth that cheating starts in the mind, right?
Okay.
Like everybody wars and battles any temptation, anything like that. Like I grew up, my grandfather, my uncles, and them. I was taught a certain way. Sure. I was also given a message. You got 3 seconds to look. Anything longer than 3 seconds,
3 seconds, there
you're
it
in
is.
trouble,
There
right?
it is.
But I believe that everybody wars with some temptation, and because of that war that we have mentally, once you make a commitment to act upon those, whether it's emotional, whether it's physical, whatever, you've already crossed that line.
Yeah.
So like even with me being married, I'm coming up on 10 years. Like mentally, like realistically, I know if I've already mentally said in my mind that's who I want. Even if I'm with wifey or with my kids, if I look at her and I'm already mentally in that process and that war that I'm having now has me walking towards her, even though internally I'm saying, nah, bruh, going back up, turn around.
Yeah.
I've already made the commitment.
Yeah.
So I believe that the cheating starts here, and everything that follows that just digs us into a deeper hole.
Well, I think that aside from the actual physical act, of course, I think I would fair to believe that we all would agree that when you've crossed the lines physically,
Absolutely.
that it's cheating. But even prior to that, as you said, it's a mind thing. But I have learned to adopt this understanding that if you're deleting, it's cheating.
Absolutely. You're flipping the phone.
Wait a minute.
You're flipping
if
the
you
phone
hide
over.
it,
Wait a minute.
you
Hold on.
slide.
No, absolutely.
Wait a minute. Run that back.
If
I
you
said
delete,
if you delete
you
it,
hitting it.
it's cheating.
Let me give you a scenario. See, okay.
Okay.
If you have a friend, either spouse, if your significant other has a person in their life that is totally platonic, but you don't really like the person. So we talk about if you delete it, if you said if they delete it, and so in order to keep you from seeing any communication with that person,
Oh, bro.
No.
is that just something that you just don't like, or is that cheating? If there's nothing, if it's totally platonic,
If
can
you ain't got
say that
nothing to
that's
hide,
cheating?
I don't. When I make that statement, I say it lightly because of the fact that, of course, cheating is the actual act. To me, cheating is when you have crossed that line, then you are cheating. But to me, what you're bringing up is a platonic relationship that you have with someone, but it makes your significant other feel some kind of way.
They don't like.
They
the
don't
person.
care for
they
that
don't
person.
care for that person.
So,
and so
in order for you to still
keep the
maintain
peace.
your relationship,
Exactly.
you speak out and then you delete.
You right.
Yeah,
What
you
is
can't.
that?
You can't. You
What is that?
No,
No,
you
no,
can't
no.
do the friend zone. You can't
no,
do the friend
it,
zone.
no.
it may not be wise in your relationship, but the question is that cheating though, or
No,
is
you'll
that
To
never
have,
know.
what? To have a friend?
But
To have a friend?
no, but his thing is it cheating to maintain a relationship that makes your significant other uncomfortable.
Oh no. Yeah,
Is that the question?
That's just wrong. That's
But,
wrong.
but you never know
That's
if
gonna
you
get
delete
you.
it.
That's
No.
gonna get you couch time.
right? So
Yeah,
it may
no,
be
we ain't
it
doing
may be
that.
wrong for the relationship, but again, we're talking about
It
cheating.
might not necessarily be
Be
cheating,
cheating,
but,
Yeah, I don't
but
think it's
now
cheating.
you've crossed another line. Though.
Yeah. A
whole-
Now you've crossed
Yeah.
a line of
Yeah.
anything that you do that makes your spouse uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Anything that we do
Yeah.
that makes our significant other uncomfortable,
Yeah.
that in itself
Yeah.
is a whole conversation.
Yeah.
Let's talk about let's take it to everybody now. It's social media, so let's get into that.
Yeah.
We
Instagram.
are
If you
Instagram,
I
mean,
blame my
sliding,
generation.
you in
It's
somebody,
y'all,
you
man.
in somebody's DM.
all
You
about
slide
y'all.
in the
Listen.
DM, Doc?
Listen.
Hey, I
it's-
didn't even know
it's
there
our
was
fault.
DMs to slide into.
I mean, but
I just
no.
happened to see all of these, and
No.
I'm like, who
Because
this?
watch this. It's some older people that's still trying to slide in DMs, trying to pay car notes and stuff. But our generation,
Email him.
absolutely,
I ain't paying nothing.
it's our fault. I mean, it's gotten to such a degree that you don't even know what a relationship is anymore.
Yeah.
Because you've got open relationships now. You've got people who, like I know a person that they are married and they like, listen, you do what you do.
Oh, wow.
You do what you do.
Yeah, that's
just
not
as
a-
long as we tell each other.
that's
like,
not a marriage.
There's so like we've absolutely like even if you look at influencers today, they've opened up to the degree where cheating is not even cheating unless you got multiple people.
Oh,
like
wow.
and so we've opened that door up, Pandora's box, if you want to say, to the point where it's just like all of what we thought from a relationship standpoint, commitment,
Yeah.
trust, all of that is now out the window because of the openness that we have today. And
Well-
social media makes it.
Well,
Absolutely.
let me
I
say
agree.
this. You say it's social media, but you remember years ago how many cousins would show up at your door, be like, this your cousin. And
don't
your
know nothing about
and your
that.
other cousin went down south for the summer or went down south for a couple months.
And then all of a sudden they came back.
Wait.
Listen, I got some problems right now
Yeah.
trying to figure out how you my cousin again?
Jeff.
Who I'm just
We can't relate to that.
I can't relate to that one.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's what we're gonna do.
We can't
hold on.
relate to
Okay.
that.
Jeff.
Yeah, okay. I'm
Cousins?
sorry.
But to DeMarcus's
I'm
point,
sorry.
I think social media helps make it easier.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It makes it easier.
Yeah.
Especially now that you can delete
You can,
conversations.
absolutely. It never.
yeah.
Well, you can delete on one
You-
end.
if you're deleting, you cheat. I'm trying to tell y'all. If you're doing something that you have to delete, you done
But
went too far. You
it's
done
goes
crossed the
beyond.
line.
It goes beyond social media because you got apps out there now
Yeah.
that you can hide conversations.
Too much
in, and
access.
Yeah,
It's just
I mean,
it's
Too much
you know,
access.
it's so much
man.
freedom now.
Too much
Like,
access.
It's just so much freedom to the point where, like I said, relationships. The standard for a relationship is out the window.
Yeah.
Okay, well, okay, I'll throw this out. This
Too
is
much
gonna,
access.
This is going to probably be even more controversial, but here it goes.
Oh Lord.
I ain't getting
Why
the
do
remote this weekend.
Why do people cheat?
Why what?
Why do people
Why?
cheat?
Why
Oh
cheat?
Lord. No, we
That's
need
a lot
this,
of
Because
answers
they
to that.
hungry.
This is episode 3. Doc.
Because they
'Cause
hungry.
we need another 30 minutes. Doc.
Listen.
We can't do this in 5 minutes.
A person is only gonna go after what they ain't getting at home, and you know that's why I say, listen, y'all need to learn how to make
Wait a
a
minute, let me
slow
stop.
cook.
Wait a minute.
Email him.
I don't know. Is that true?
Y'all need to listen.
He said they're only going to go after what they're not getting, because some people are greedy.
Well, yeah, that's true too. That's true too.
Some people agree.
But
Are
if
they
I'm
not?
coming home every day to a slow cooked meal and some dessert,
I don't agree.
I ain't going out get some
agree.
fast food.
Well,
I
DeMarcus,
don't
what do you-
agree.
go
I
ahead.
don't agree.
Weigh in on it. Weigh in on it.
It's so many answers to that.
Maybe
There
a
are.
house-
Give me one.
There really are.
Give me
Or
one.
maybe a house coat.
I mean, there's so many
Give
answers
me
to that one, man.
Give me one.
Why do people cheat?
Give me one other than somebody just wants more. They just want it just because they want it. Give me one that's other than
There is a void.
Okay.
There
okay.
is a
okay.
void.
Okay.
Somewhere.
But see, like,
There is a void.
But even with is that a void for you or
Well, it doesn't. The question is reasons why people choose.
There's a void.
Now, it doesn't make it, just like going back to the abortion conversation, it doesn't make it right.
Right.
But the question is, what leads to, what makes people, what causes people to cheat? There's a void somewhere,
a consistent void?
a consistent void.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
and
I'll
that's
take
why
that.
we
I'll take
have
that.
to teach.
Well, that's
in our
relative.
mentoring, we got to
Well,
teach
when I say a
communication.
consistent void, I'm talking
we
about.
got to teach
Exactly.
communication.
Yeah,
we got to
for
be able
sure.
to talk to our spouses.
Exactly.
For
and
sure.
explain to them, hey,
Exactly.
But that's the consistent void.
Yeah,
If
well,
you don't communicate
gotta
that,
communicate.
hey, I feel that I'm missing this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna keep looking at that spot
Yeah.
and like, I can't stand this.
Gotcha.
And without communicating. Even if
Without
you
saying.
communicate that to your
And
spouse
most of the time, we
and
wait.
they still don't, you know.
We wait until we are upset, we're
Yeah.
angry.
Yeah,
and
bro.
then That's when we blurt it out.
Gotcha.
That's when we
Yeah.
say,
And
you
in anger.
always,
Right.
you know, and
Yeah.
make
Yeah.
sweeping statements and things of that
and,
sort.
and again, we gotta communicate, and we gotta
There's a
help
communication.
those who don't know how to. First of all, we have to master communication with our spouses,
Right.
and then we have to teach our younger folk how to
I
communicate.
totally agree.
I would say that for us, like growing up, what was taught to me as a male was, you know, even if you got a main, you go out there, you always have someone on the side because you don't know if that's real or if that's gonna make mistakes, etc. So my undergrad years and all that, it was you got a main, you got 4 or 5 to choose from.
Wow.
If she mess up, you go X, Y, and Z. Sorry, ladies, that's just how it was taught.
Uh-huh.
But
One of
I
my
mean,
homeboys used to say every car come with a spare tire.
absolutely,
My God.
absolutely,
I
absolutely.
didn't say it. One of my homeboys.
That's how I was
said it.
raised.
And I think, well, it's becoming. You hear about it more now, but I think one of the problems with that communication piece is traditionally we don't look at couples therapy and counseling
Exactly.
as
True.
a way to
Yeah.
True.
minimize that.
Yeah.
To your point,
True.
we wait till we get very frustrated and mad,
Exactly. Yeah.
and then we
Exactly.
just act out instead
Yeah.
of taking those steps to say, let's talk about what's
Yeah.
going on before it gets to that.
Exactly.
for
and,
sure.
and for me, I can share something personal. You know, I am on my second marriage, and I am in a wonderful marriage. My wife, I love my
Say
wife.
it again.
I love my
There
wife.
you go.
My wife is a wonderful woman. We have a wonderful relationship. It's very healthy. Part of the reason why it's healthy is because when I began dating my wife Leslie, one of the things that I had to say to her was this: in order for me to be a successful spouse, significant other, husband, I have to be able to have the liberty to be brutally honest.
Yeah, absolutely. That's good.
I
man.
have to be able to be brutally honest with
Yeah.
you, and I want you to be brutally honest with
That's
me.
good.
But here was a stipulation that I made from the get-go. If you ask me a question, be prepared because I'm going to answer it. I'm
Absolutely.
going to answer it. If you ask me, do I look fat in this? I'm going to say yes if you do. If you ask me a question, I'm going to give you an honest answer because
Yeah.
the minute that I start backpedaling, the minute that I start hiding how
Yeah.
I feel, the minute that I start feeling like I can't be honest
Yeah.
and I can't be brutally honest, I can't state what's in my heart, in my mind, in my spirit, that's when I'm going to start hiding.
Yeah.
That's when I'm going to start hiding my real thoughts and my real feelings.
Yeah.
And when you get into that, so thankfully I'm grateful that my wife and I have a brutally honest relationship to be able to say, listen, no secrets, no holes barred. You know, thank you.
And
I
that,
got to
that-
tell
that's
you how
what
I
has
feel
to be
about
taught
this.
right there. You know, however you have the conversation, like we're having this conversation, we've got to have those little personal conversations, whether we invite a few couples over to dinner and we're just talking, younger couples, older couples. We can learn from the older, we can learn from the younger, but we can also teach on both levels.
Absolutely.
We got to have those type of conversations.
Absolutely.
Pastor E, 15 seconds, wrap it up.
I would say the benefit of that social media piece is back in the older days, you know, cheating has been around for a while. And it was just hidden more
Your cousins.
in the older days until a baby popped out and you found out,
Right.
hey, that's your sister.
Right.
So that's a
Then you get
benefit
C.L.
to
Franklin.
our generation. But all in all, I mean, that cheating topic, brother,
It's
a rough one.
It is. And-
that's a rough one.
All right, and again, we could debate this all day long. Another great conversation.
Yes, sir.
Something to think about. For those of you out here watching, again, we want to just give you things to think about. It's enlightening, entertaining. We hope you'll join us the next time. It's going to be another great show. Thank you to my co-host for being here.
Yes, sir.
And you don't want to miss what's coming next. So join us again for the conversation on Hope TV. Take care.